Hello guys, welcome back. So let's start with a new topic, and that is kidney. So first let's know the shape of the kidney. We have two kidneys, right? One is present on the right side, the other is present on your left side. The shape of the kidney is bean shape. What it is? Bean shape kidney. The color is reddish brown. I'm sure you already know this. Now let's look at something called as metanephros. This metanephros, it is related to the embryological period. So first write down the topic metanephros. It is related to Cronk. So I am only giving you the information that you should know as per the Cronk. You just have to remember this metanephros, it gives rise to adult kidney. Now what do you mean by adult kidney? First of all, adult kidney means it will have all the parts of the kidney. The cortex, the medullary pyramids, the major calyx, the minor calyx, the pelvis, everything will be present. In a fetal kidney, everything is not present. So what will form this adult kidney? Metanephros. And it is formed by, write down, it is formed by, we'll be learning about the parts of kidney in few minutes. For now, just remember that adult kidney is formed by metanephros. And this metanephros is actually what? It is mesonephric duct diverticulum and metanephric cap. Now this metanephric cap which you're seeing, it is also having two other names as per Cronk. So write down, it is also known as metanephric tissue and it is also known as metanephric mesoderm. So don't get confused. You have to remember all these three names of the metanephric cap because they can ask anything. So for the Cronk exam, you just have to remember what is metanephros, that it will give rise to adult kidney, and how this adult kidney is formed. You should know it is formed by the mesonephric duct diverticulum and metanephric cap. You don't have to learn everything in detail about the embryological period. So now let's start with the actual kidney in detail. So kidney, it is a retroperitoneal organ. Now what does it mean by that? Peritoneum, it covers the anterior abdominal part. Okay, it is a covering, like every organ almost has their own covering. Similarly, the whole abdomen is covered by this peritoneum. Okay, but this peritoneum on the posterior side is not present. It is only present on the anterior side. So retro means back. So any organ which doesn't comes under the peritoneum, we call them as retroperitoneal. So we have two types of organs. We have intraperitoneal organs and retroperitoneal organs. We'll be doing this, how many organs are retroperitoneal, in detail in the future video. So don't worry about it. For now, you must remember retro means back and kidney is present at your back side, right? So kidney is a retroperitoneal organ and it is situated in the posterior abdomen. As I said you before, anterior abdomen is covered by peritoneum. So posterior is not covered. So where should the kidney be situated at? It should be situated at the posterior abdomen, as we have put it into a category called as retroperitoneal organ. Now one more important Cronk thing, please write it down. The location of the kidney. It extends from T12 to L3 in reality. But according to Cronk, they will give you T11 to L3. So one or two vertebrae up and down, nothing happens, but we should know the exact location also and also what they give you as an option in Cronk. You have to remember this extension of the kidney because it is a question and it comes in Cronk many a times. Now let's do the layers of the kidney. So write down the topic, layers of kidney. First write down the renal capsule. Then you have the perirenal fat. What do you have? Perirenal fat, or it is also called as adipose capsule. Third layer is renal fascia. What it is? Renal fascia, and it is also known as, very important term, Gerota's fascia. What it is? Gerota's fascia, and it has one more term, that is perirenal fascia. Perirenal fascia. And lastly, you have pararenal fat. Okay. Now renal capsule, write down. It is tough fibrous capsule. It is tough fibrous capsule. For this adipose capsule, you have to write down that it suspends the kidney. It is a Cronk question, so please remember, it suspends the kidney at its proper position. So kidney is hanging in place because of what? Because of adipose capsule. The renal fascia or Gerata's fascia, which is also known as perirenal fascia, it encloses kidney and suprarenal gland. On kidney, you have a triangular shaped glands, okay, like a cap, like a Christmas cap. So those caps are nothing but adrenal glands, and it is also called as suprarenal glands because it is present above the kidney. Kidney, we call it as renal, okay, so it is above the kidney, so the name comes as suprarenal gland. I can write as adrenal glands. Suprarenal, I hope you understand the meaning behind it now. The pararenal fat, para means besides, para means besides. So pararenal means besides the kidney. So besides the kidney, exactly where? It is located on the posterolateral aspect of kidney. So posteriorly on the lateral side, it will be present. Okay, so it is besides the kidney. So now the layers are done up. Let's look at the macroscopic structures of the kidney. What are we looking at? Macroscopic structures of the kidney. So write down the topic. Macroscopic structures of kidney. So kidney is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. But it is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. Write down this outer cortex. It extends. This outer cortex extends in triangular shapes. In which shapes? In triangular shapes. Called as, what it is called as? Write down. Called as renal pyramids, or they are present in the medulla, right? So they are called as medullary pyramids. Now this renal pyramids or medullary pyramids, their apex is known as renal papilla. What it is known as? Renal papilla. Now write down this renal papilla. It is associated with minor calyx. Okay, what it is associated with? Minor calyx. Now write down many minor calyx together forms major calyx. This major calyx will open into, many major calyx opens into renal pelvis. Now renal pelvis, it is funnel shaped. You should know its shape also, so please remember it, that renal pelvis, it is funnel shaped, and this renal pelvis opens into ureter. It is a tube or a pipe, you can say, which connects the kidney and your urinary bladder. So the urine which is formed in your kidney will be taken up by this ureter into your urinary bladder. So ureter to urinary bladder. Kidney is, its main function is filtration, formation of urine. So urine is stored where? In the urinary bladder. So this was all the passage through which your urine will be formed. And also the major structures of the kidney. Now let's look at each structure in detail through the diagram. But before moving on to it, I forgot to tell you one thing. So please write down over here that the medial side of the kidney has renal hilum. When we were doing lungs, I told you hilum is a place where structures enter and exits through. So it is a gate, right? So for kidney, the gate will be called as renal hilum. So here what it is gateway for vessels and ureter. Okay, now let's look at these structures in detail. You have to draw the simplified diagram which I have drawn. So you have this bean-shaped kidney. Have this on the outer surface which you're looking at. This is your cortex. What it is? It is renal cortex. Then this renal cortex, it extends into this medullary pyramids, into the medulla. So this part which you're seeing, it is the medulla. Okay, and you have this as medullary pyramids. Medullary pyramids, you can see they have their apex like this. Okay, I have not drawn it clearly, but they have an apex like this, which is called as renal papilla. And this renal papilla opens into, what are these? This green color are minor calyx. You can see many minor calyx open into the major calyx. So what you are seeing over here is major calyx. renal pelvis. This major calyx open into renal pelvis. Renal pelvis, near that only you have the hilum, where you see this red color which is renal artery and blue color renal vein enters. And you can also see this renal pelvis is in continuation with the ureter. So what it is? It is the ureter. It will go in with the urinary bladder. Now let's look at this picture. So you have this renal capsule. Then you have this cortex, this light brown color substance, that is cortex, which forms medullary pyramids. Medullary pyramids, at its apex, you can see it forms the renal papilla. Now, renal papilla opens into minor calyx. So these are minor calyx. Now you can see that minor calyx, the one minor calyx, 2, 3, they open into major calyx. This major calyx then open into renal pelvis. This is the renal pelvis, the funnel shaped renal pelvis. And here is the hilum, as I said. Here you can see the renal artery, the renal vein, and also the ureter exiting. So I hope this is clear. The major structures of the kidney is clear. Now there are few things you must remember about the kidney. Its artery, its vein, lymphatics and everything. So write down artery. You have a renal artery which directly comes from the abdominal aorta. Okay. This renal artery divides into right and left renal artery. Divides into right and left renal artery. The right renal artery is longer. The right renal artery is longer and left is obviously shorter than that. Then for the vein, write down. You have a vein, that is a renal vein. This renal vein directly empties into inferior vena cava. Directly empties into inferior vena cava. Okay. Now lymphatics. They drain into, the renal lymphatics drains into lateral aortic or para-aortic. Para means besides, lateral means on the sideways. So it's one and the same, you can say. Lateral aortic or para-aortic lymph nodes. And you should also remember one more thing, that kidney has 2 arterioles. So write down the important point. Kidney has 2 arterioles. Now this 2 arterioles, it is afferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. It is afferent and efferent arteriole. Afferent brings the blood to the kidney. Efferent takes the blood from the kidney. Okay. So this 2 arterioles, so afferent carries, brings blood. So afferent brings blood to kidney. Efferent takes blood from kidney. If this arteriole is damaged, write down, if arteriole is damaged, then shunting of blood occurs. What will occur? Shunting of blood. What do you mean by shunting of blood? Shunting is nothing but mixing of the blood from the left and the right sides. So if this arteriole is damaged, afferent mixes with the efferent arteriole. Okay. So this will create the shunting of the blood. You just have to remember this. And you should remember that kidney has dense network between 2 arterioles. Now what does that mean? I'll explain you through the picture in the next slide. So you can see red color renal artery and blue color renal vein, right? So let's look at this. This renal artery and renal vein, they will divide into interlobar arteries, interlobar vein. Okay. So first you can see over here, this is the renal artery which gives the afferent arteriole. Okay. You can see this afferent arteriole, once urine is formed, then it is taken by efferent arteriole. This efferent arteriole then opens into renal vein. So what happens if there is damage between these 2 arterioles? What will happen? There will be shunting of blood. You can clearly see from this picture that here the arteries and veins are meeting. So if there's any problem in the artery or in the vein, or you can say any problem in the arterioles, there will be mixing of the blood between the both, right? And one more thing. I said you that there's a dense network present between the 2 arterioles. So this is the dense network. You can see that net formation shape is present over here, right? This is the dense network which I was talking about before. So I hope the major part, the macro structures of the kidney is clear to you.